Finding valuable power bats in fantasy can become a daunting task, but I did some digging, and I came up with two prime candidates poised to take their games to the next level. Teoscar Hernandez and Max Muncy. Teoscar Hernandez, I've been watching since his call-up late last season, and he's recently caught fire. Max Muncy, he's come out of nowhere, and he's absolutely been on fuego for the last month or so. He's exceeding all expectations. So here we are, and I only thought it was fair to see how they got here by doing a couple of deep dives.
Meet the future face to face. And make you feel like you're there in outer space, beneath the sea.
Let's start with Teoscar Hernandez, a hard-hitting outfielder with a gaping hole in his swing. Everywhere I look, I'm finding impressive things to admire about Hernandez's power. Here he is, atop the leaderboards in isolated power, just chilling with first and second round fantasy picks Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper, and Manny Machado. Here he is again, barreling up baseballs at a higher rate than all three of those guys. And here's an example of what both of those things translate to on the field.
High fly ball, deep to center field. Get up, ball, get up, get out of here, gone! Teoscar Hernandez.
And let me tell you, I had a field day studying Hernandez's body of work on Baseball Savant, where I discovered that his quality of contact dating back to 2017 has ranked with some of the most revered sluggers in the game. He's currently slugging nearly 90 points lower than he's expected to, with a launch angle 5 degrees higher than Aaron Judge. On average, he's either crushing line drives or elevating them 400 feet into the air with the best of them. There's no real in between. A fly ball line drive hitter with 40 homer potential. Yes, I said 40 homer potential. Hernandez is immensely satisfying to watch when he's going right. The guy simply does not make soft contact, and part of the fun in watching him square one up or go yard is the startling similarities between his follow-through and Matt Kemp's. It's so smooth and rich in swagger. It's like you know he got a hold of one just off of the sound of the bat. He's a superstar in the making so long as he retains his brand of elite power. But like most pure power hitters, there are flaws that pitchers discover over time and exploit until an adjustment is made. There are plenty of flaws ailing Hernandez's game right now. Here's his plate discipline profile, and if you pay attention to the far right side of it, you'll notice a couple of problems already. He has the 10th lowest contact rate and the 4th highest swinging strike rate in the majors. Only Javier Baez, Lewis Brinson, and Joey Gallo are whiffing more than he is right now. Pitchers have made a habit out of working him down and away, and how can you blame them? Look at the percentage of pitches thrown in that area and compare it to the number of whiffs Hernandez has accumulated as a result. He loves the inside half of the plate, as demonstrated in this graphic here, but he's also vulnerable to the outer half, especially when pitchers are attacking him up and away. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. With lefty Eduardo Rodriguez on the bump, Hernandez gets a pesky cutter inside to start things off, and then flails away at 2 fastballs up that send him right back to the dugout. Sonny Gray also had his number last week, dipping his slider way off of the plate while Hernandez continued to just poke his bat out helplessly. He's really bad with that outer half of the plate, and when pitchers are able to refrain from pounding him inside, he almost becomes a non-factor in the Blue Jays lineup. I'll finish my thoughts on Hernandez in a moment, but first I'd like Max Muncy to share some of the spotlight. This is a guy everyone should be excited about, because with great power also comes great plate discipline. In this regard, he's virtually a bizarro Teoscar. He's got a decent contact rate, doesn't chase out of the strike zone, and has a pristine swinging strike percentage. That huge divide between his Z swing and his overall swing rate is great, because that tells us he's making his hacks count by only attacking competitive pitches. But here's how he's discovered his power. Before receiving a new leash on life with the Dodgers last year, Muncy was with the A's, making loads of weak contact and rolling over ground balls ad nauseum. This was his pre-swing setup back in 2016. A tight, stiff stance with his hands raised and his driving leg just a smidge off the ground. That sort of approach works for guys like Ichiro in his prime, speedsters who live off of poking holes through the infield and manipulating infield defensive arrangements. Muncy's not a fast base runner, and he's not a very good slap hitter either, so naturally, he sucked for the entirety of his 2-season cup of tea back in Oakland. Apparently, he learned something new last year while spending some time with the AAA Dodgers affiliate in Oklahoma City. Look at his stance this season. The arms are lowered, his leg is raised well off of the ground, and he's a tiny bit more open, suggesting a more all-out approach to making contact. Now, a preview of the results of those adjustments.
There's a fly ball to right. Max Muncy has done it again. He indeed is Mad Max beyond Thunderdome.
After only hitting 5 homers and slugging over 300 in his first 2 seasons with Oakland, Muncy has racked up 7 more homers and 9 more RBIs and 93 fewer plate appearances with Los Angeles, all by incorporating a single change in his swing. Muncy's contact profile, like that of Hernandez, is also immaculate. Look at his barrel percentage. Look at the high launch angle, the hard hit rate, the expected weighted on base, and slugging. Things only get more exciting with the trip to Brooks baseball. As you can see here, he's been completely swallowing up the middle and lower halves of the plate with power, daring pitchers to challenge him up and away or make a mistake trying. Because he's so good at distinguishing between strikes and balls, he's become a legitimately challenging at bat, a scary one at times even. Again, all of this with a simple tweak. So here's my take on both of these guys. I've always had a bias for home runs, because you hit a home run, you automatically make an impact on the scoreboard. It's different than a single or a walk or a stolen base where you're reliant on somebody else driving you in. I feel like Hernandez and Max Muncy can both hit a ton of home runs and be very valuable going forward. It's all about the quality of contact and hitting the ball as hard as they can, and they're doing this very consistently. Now, I know they're not really household names, and if you're going by name value, you're not really thinking about Teoscar Hernandez. You're not really thinking about what Max Muncy can do for your fantasy team. But if you look beyond the box score, if you look beyond all of that, you dig deep into the numbers, these guys could become elite power bats. In the case of Teoscar Hernandez, he's top 5 in everything. You know, he's hitting the ball extremely hard. He's hitting the ball far. He's got a really high launch angle. And on top of that, he's barreling up everything. He really is. And look, Hernandez is not perfect. We got to remember that. He's chasing a lot of pitches. He's not drawing a lot of walks. They're pounding the strike zone against him. They're going away, down and away, up and away. And he's found no real cure for that sort of thing. And he's striking out a lot. He really is. He's chasing a lot. Again, he's striking out. There's a hole in the swing, like I said before. But we got to remember, he's 25 years old. He's still young. This is his first full major league season. And he's getting used to facing pitchers he's never seen in the minor leagues before. Guys who throw harder, guys with bigger breaking balls, guys with more accurate, more consistent tendencies on the mound. And I'm seeing a little bit of progress in that regard. This seems like something that might be stagnant at points throughout the season. But eventually, I feel like Hernandez might break out. I feel like that's something that might happen after July. Sometime after the All-Star break. And he'll have that second half where you pick him up and he's riding you to the championship. And then that carries over into next season. I highly believe that in 2019, he's going to be an all-star. He has too much pop. This is a huge bat. If he could make just a little bit more consistent contact, if he could just take a few more balls, chase a few more pitches off the strike zone, he is going to be on another level. He's not really there yet. He's more of one of those top 30, top 40 outfielder types right now. I feel like he could easily surpass that rank and be among the best in the game. I don't know about very best. I don't know if this is a JD Martinez resurgence or anything like that. But definitely his power plays. It plays in every single fantasy league. It definitely plays in that ballpark. Toronto, Rogers Center, ball flies, and it's a small ballpark compared to most of the league. Definitely the place for Hernandez to be the breakout, and I feel like it's going to happen very soon. Same thing with Max Muncy, and I like him a little bit more because of the patience he has, the polish that he has. Hernandez lacks that little bit of polish, that ability, that swagger, to have that kind of a bat where he's forcing the pitcher to attack the middle of the zone because he's missing off the plate, or they're throwing pitches that they expect him to chase and he's not chasing them. Max Muncy has that right now. and he's on a hot stretch right now. 9 home runs, 20 RBIs in his last 72 at bats, and that's because he's taking his pitches. He's drawing a lot of walks. He's drawn a lot of walks in that span of time, and over the season, it's been a concurring theme with him. Get on base, draw your walks, and then wait for the right moment to come where you're gonna meatball down the middle of the plate, and that's why the power is coming. That patience, that polish. And that's the great thing about Max Muncy. Even in that ballpark, he's got a plus 300 ISO, isolated power. That's tough to do in Chavez Ravine, and he's doing it easily. And he's among the top guys in the game. And again, with him and Hernandez, we're talking about Bryce Harper, Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, Nelson Cruz, Manny Machado, shortstop, 18 home runs. That quality of contact, that kind of power, they're up there with the best of them right now. I wouldn't say they're as good. Again, Max Muncy is doing great right now. I feel like we have to see a little bit more of what he's doing to kind of cement this argument that I have. I feel like I have a substantial argument, but still a little bit more time. I'll feel a little bit more confident and maybe comparing him a little bit more to the rest of those guys at the top of the league. But still, him and Hernandez, they hit the ball extraordinarily hard. So there you have it. Teoscar Hernandez, small ballpark, stupid pop, squares up everything. If he could just take more balls and stop swinging at, really, really bad pitches like he's doing right now, easily top 10, top 15 outfielder in all of baseball. Max Muncy, great approach at the plate. He's lowered his hands at the swing, higher leg kick. All of a sudden, Bob's your uncle. He's hitting everything out of the ballpark. Great find for the Dodgers. Even a greater find. An even greater find for fantasy owners. I feel like in all leagues. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I can't do this sort of thing without you guys. Thanks again for the recommendations. I know someone on Reddit recommended I do Teoscar Hernandez. There was a whole comment thread. Thank all of you on Reddit for watching. I'm going to try to post this again on the site. It's been great to get that sort of feedback, and I'm willing and able to respond to everyone. I know I got a couple more requests for deep dives. I want to dig into doing those later on, so please be patient with me. I got a bunch more coming up. I got a couple, not even a couple. I have a bunch of other players I'm trying to do as well, so that's just another thing to keep in mind. There's one I want to do. I want to do another deep dive this weekend. Hopefully I can get that done too. But I'm just glad to be back on the saddle. I know it's been a few weeks since my last one. I feel like I left you guys low and dry, hanging high and dry. But here we are again, and getting back into the swing of things. If you liked what you saw in this video, like it. Leave a comment on the comment thread, and also subscribe. I'll take as many subscribers as possible. I want this to be a journey where a lot of people are checking in on what I'm doing. It helps to have that sort of that fan base. I'm hoping I can build something up in the future. Also, I got a WordPress blog that I think you guys would love. It's called Hello Brooklyn. I got a lot of other fantasy posts that I have on that website. I left a link in the video description, so you guys can go ahead and check that out too. If you're interested in seeing more fantasy stuff that I have. Most of it is mostly written. I think all of it is written. I have some other stuff as well. A lot of movies, TV, video game stuff that I also have on that blog too. This is J Mutt signing off. Hopefully all of you guys have a wonderful day, and God bless.